Let's dive deep into a moral dilemma filled with racism, sexism, and even love. There's a deep divide in the Skyrim community. No, not the Stormcloaks versus the Empire, not what the best guild is or the best weapon, no. I'm talking about the age-old debate, Sven versus Faendal. Now, I already had part of this script written before even doing research because I'm an avid Sven enjoyer. That dreamy blonde hair, that flute blowing, that lute playing, ugh. I intended for this to be a video essay explaining why Sven is better in every way to Faendal, to finally sway public opinion, to not be so wrong about my bard boy anymore. I even made this funny clip for it.
There's no escape!
But the deep dive changed things a bit. Right, is it Faendal or Faendal or Faendrul? I don't know how to pronounce his goddamn name. It's so weird. I don't know. Let's break down the characters in this story one by one to see who they are and how they think. One of the first side quests you'll likely encounter after escaping your own execution, the beginning of the dragon crisis, and making it to Riverwood alive, is a love triangle of sorts. Two strapping young men are locked in a bitter war of love for the affection of a woman named Camilla. Now, I always thought Camilla fancied Sven and him her, and that Faendal was just trying to squeeze in, cause chaos, and somehow end up wooing a wounded Camilla. But I was wrong. It doesn't matter who you speak to first, Sven or Faendal, to initiate the quest, but both are a bit telling in their responses. You see Sven first, because coming into Riverwood, his mother will be raving about dragons, and Sven is trying to quiet her. Let's see what his reaction is to this.
Working in her lumber mill. It flew right over the barrel.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
See right here, Sven sets up his personality a bit. He cares about his mother enough to not want everyone to think she's crazy, yelling about things that, to them, don't exist. But that compassion, that care, almost seems like a mask because he ends it with, I have better things to do than listen to your fantasies. So maybe he's more concerned with being the son of a crazy lady. We'll go the Sven route first. Just listen.
Faendal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine, I keep telling him. Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time. You may be right. Camilla may see Faendal as little more than a friend, but why take chances? Here, give Camilla this letter. It's full of venomous nonsense. Tell her it's from Faendal.
So he seems a bit possessive. But this is why I always thought they were already together. He uses, terms like, she's already mine. And he seems to think very highly of himself. Almost too highly. Both ask you to deliver a fake letter and say it was from the other. Let's see what Finn thinks Faendal could say to scare off Camilla. Dear Camilla, I know I have called upon you at your house many times, and while we may be growing close, I need you to put away desires you may have for me aside. I am a true-born son of Ellenwood, and I could never befoul my bloodline by courting an Imperial. Damn. They wish they remain friends? Okay. Well, so that's the gist of it. And just blatant racism. That would send anyone running. But let's focus on the growing close part. Faendal and Camilla have seemed to have taken somewhat of a liking to each other. So let's see what she has to say about this.
You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger. From Faendal? That's strange. He's never written to me before. What is this? Is this what he really thinks about me?
Well, you can tell that long-eared ass not to come around the store anymore.
He's not welcome. Until next time.
So she was kind of hitting on me, the player, but she has a flirty personality. Obviously, she was upset. Doesn't want to see Faendal anymore, which is understandable. If he had said this, let's see who Camilla is as a person.
You're not... I came here from the Imperial Province to work with my brother Lucan. It got bad back in Cyrodiil. The war with the Thalmor ruined everything. I came to Skyrim looking for a better life. So what did I get? Another war. I just want to find a good husband and start a family of my own.
So she's traveled here with her brother, is wrapped up in yet another war, and just wants to find a good husband and start a family. I get it. I get it. That's why she's being... That's why she's being even flirty with me. She must shoot her shot with any handsome man that comes through. But that's all it takes for her to cut ties with Faendal, and honestly, I don't blame her. Imagine you're kind of into a person, you're talking, and then bam, they drop the racist bombshell on you. Like, how are you supposed to react? But now let's go the other route. Let's see how Faendal is planning on swaying Camilla away from Camp Sven.
River. There's beauty here unmatched in all of Skyrim, to be sure. He's a bard, so he says. Occasionally, he finds time to do his job here at the mill. Thinks his ballads and sonnets are going to convince Camilla Valerius to marry him. As if she would say yes. An intelligent, beautiful woman like her wouldn't fall for that nonsense. I hope. I've been thinking, maybe Camilla needs a little help seeing Sven for what he is. Could you give her this letter and say it's from Sven? I think I've matched that Nord's lack of cleverness perfectly.
Okay, so Sven works at the mill, but periodically blows work off for the arts. Now, I don't like Faendal's wording here of dismissing the importance of things like poetry and art, but he is more respectful towards Camilla, saying she's beautiful and intelligent. Let's read his fake letter. My dearest Camilla, I yearn to have you as my own, washing my linens and my fine blonde hair, to cook my dinner from my stove, and tend to my house while I wander. Yours truly, Sven. Okay, that was a very sexist poem. Of course, him being a nice guy, to him the worst thing you could be towards a woman is sexist. So, what does Camilla think of this misogynistic talk?
Maybe you could... You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger. Another poem, I bet. He does know how to make a girl blush. What's this? If that oaf thinks all I'm going to do is stay in that filthy house of his and clean, You can tell Sven that he already has a mother. I'm not speaking to him anymore. I'd better get going.
Totally fair. Not much to say here, not much to digest, to discuss. What if you tell her the truth about both letters? Let's run through that. Let's go through Sven first.
You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger. What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Faendal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Faendal as well? I'm sure he'll want to thank you for standing up for him.
You know, she didn't seem that upset, honestly. Shocked, but not upset. She didn't even say she was cutting him off. Okay, last one. Faendal's, let's tell the truth about Faendal.
He what? What are you talking about? Why, that jealous idiot. Thought he could just manipulate me into never seeing Sven again? Thank you for telling me the truth. You should speak to Sven. I'm sure he'll want to thank you, too, for defending his name.
She calls Faendal a jealous idiot, which makes me believe she knows he's into her, but it's also telling that she mentions he tries to manipulate her into not seeing Sven anymore, implying she does want to keep seeing him. This was really interesting. I spent a better part of 2 days psychoanalyzing minor Skyrim characters, motivations, and personalities in a messy, tangled love triangle soap opera drama thing. Here's my conclusion. I think Camilla was obviously flirting with both of them. She's flirty. She's just testing the waters, playing the field, you know. I still think she was leaning towards Sven a decent amount by her reactions to giving her the truth about either of the fake letters. Not committing to stopping seeing Sven from his fake letter, and telling the truth about Faendal's letter, being more about him trying to manipulate her. But she was still growing fond of Faendal. To what extent, I'm not sure exactly, but I think it was more of a friendly situation. Sven seems to be more of a lover, not a fighter. Deep and intriguing, but his priorities aren't exactly straight. With dismissing his mother and ignoring his work, but he's passionate. He's just not going about it in quite the right way. While Camilla is concerned with finding a husband, Sven seems more concerned with his next ballad. Faendal, on the other hand, He seems respectful towards women, but it's almost like in a nice guy type of way. Huge fucking incel stuck in the friend zone vibes. The type to hang out with you as a friend, never make any moves or even hint at more, but still expect more. He also seems hardworking though. I'm not sure his profession besides possibly working at the mill with Sven, but he's always cutting wood, carrying around wood, and he's got his bow. He could very well be a hunter. Camilla also may be leading both men on to some extent, with her flirty advances even to me. This was a very classic high school level love triangle. Both men are insanely childish to write fake letters to try to steal the heart of Camilla, rather blatantly deceive her and build a relationship atop of lies. That makes them both hella problematic. I still ship Camilla and Sven though. There's nothing that really stood out to me as her liking Faendal more than just a friend. So I'm still Team Sven. God, I wish I was her. Happy creating ink.